We're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125, and around the world on myjoyonline.com. This is Joy News Prime with me, Samuel Kojo Brace.
No.
People are selling the...
People are selling it,
People are selling the kidney?
Yes, indirectly. Indirectly. People are doing it.
In Ghana?
In Ghana, people are doing it indirectly. Some people are selling it, maybe 3 million, 4 million Ghana cedis.
4 million Ghana cedis?
Yes.
Per kidney?
Yeah. Some people are doing it.
Black market sale of kidneys booms, with one kidney going for as much as 4 million Ghana cedis. That's according to the president of renal patients as the government rolls out an organ donation policy to check trafficking. Meanwhile, good news for 13-year-old Rosemary Boadu, as the $25,000 kidney transplant fee has been offset by Ibrahim Mahama.
As soon as my boss, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, attention was drawn to the video, he quickly instructed we go ahead and make payment for the procedure to start. Then by 9 a.m. this morning, we've done the payment.
We have details, and also politics has penetrated everywhere, including the judiciary. That's the verdict of former Acting Chief Justice William Atuguba as he takes on the president for recent appointment of judges to the Supreme Court, questioning the appointment of a former whole PC of MPP to the bench.
Anyway, you see, matters this country. We want to pretend, but politics has entered everywhere.
And the Electoral Commission sparks fresh controversy after the reassignment to over 800 affected voters affected by the closure of some polling stations, which failed to meet the required voter threshold. Details of the much sought after voter summaries as the NDC questioning the decision of the Electoral Commission.
You will see that they've thought of some 884 missing absentees, and due to non-existence of certain polling stations.
Well, let's start it off from the kidney issue, because the black market sale of kidneys booms, with one kidney going for as much as 4 million Ghana cedis. That's according to the president of Renal Patients Association, Bafo Kojo Ahinkra. According to him, many of his members are looking for alternatives, especially on the black market, as funding their dialysis treatment continues to strain them of all their resources. The story is not entirely different from 13-year-old Rosemary Boadu looking urgently for $25,000 for a kidney transplant. She was diagnosed with end-stage kidney failure at a time when most children are filled with dreams and aspirations. Here are excerpts of Joy News feature Dialysis at 13, produced by Emmanuel Jivenu Ratu.
I just see myself how I am and look at them. Is someone suffering from what I'm doing before I go there? So I don't like going closer to people.
Her dream of becoming a doctor has been overshadowed by the harsh reality of her present. The constant worry of finding funds for treatment and the fear of death always heavily on her young shoulders.
I want to be a doctor in the future, but sometimes I think maybe that future will not come true because of the condition I am in today.
Kidney transplant is often the preferred long-term treatment option. Transplant may offer the possibility of restoring kidney function and improving quality of life compared to ongoing dialysis. Unfortunately, Rosemary and her mother have been pushed to the very edge of society. To even afford 1 square meal a day is a luxury, let alone afford to foot for a transplant. But they remain hopeful in the face of adversity.
For now, I need help for transplant because I would not like to be on dialysis for the rest of my life. in this situation too, it's not that being on the dialysis will help the kidney to work again and let transplant. So I'm pleading with people to help me to do transplant. My mother cannot afford that money, my father cannot. Family members alone too can also not afford. So I'm pleading with everybody to help me to do transplant and stop dialysis.
Nti oko machine so no na nkoro omo wo so no omo do so wo so pa na sese aka ono nko an.
I hear that someone on dialysis have died, I ask myself, so will I also die?
Manuel Jivenu's report for Joy News.
Such a sad story there, but there's good news. I'll share that with you. In the meantime, President of Renal Patient Association, Bafo Kojo says more and more patients are paying as much as 4 million Ghana cedis to get a kidney to save their lives due to the strain in doing dialysis. He spoke on PM Express.
Donated to you.
I'm happy Dr. Nsiansari says that. We talked about that one today, tissue organ storage book. We talk about at the committee level, we talk about that one. We need to get it. Because now, for somebody to even to give it his kidney to you, people are selling it, you know.
People are selling the kidney?
Yes, indirectly. Indirectly. People are doing it.
In Ghana?
In Ghana, people are doing it indirectly. But normally you're supposed to get a bloodline, like your brother, your mother, something like that to get. But now, you know, people, the country is hot. People need money. So if I can live on one kidney, some people don't mind if they check.
How much are they selling it for?
Oh, some people are selling it maybe 3 million, 4 million Ghana cedis.
4 million Ghana cedis?
Yes.
Per kidney?
Yeah. Some people are doing it. We give it to you. You check, once you do the labs and you are compatible, it's ready to give it to you. You give it to him. Somebody will say, oh, get me 2-bedroom apartment, let me go and stay. I'll give you one of my kidneys. It's there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Our government is expediting an organ donation policy following the rollout of free dialysis policy to check organ trafficking. Dr. Anthony Nsiansari is presidential advisor on health.
Yes, once you say that health insurance will take care, it means that health insurance is going to continue with what started on the 1st of July 2024. And now they are adding all dialysis patients. And you're talking to the president of the Dialysis Patients Association, and he was giving a figure of those that he knew, I think about 400, and you were asked if they are 800. He said yes. If you are charging about I think it's about 490 Ghana cedis.
Yeah,
91.
Section, with a minimum of 2 sections. Some of them have a maximum. Some of them even go to about 4 sections. Those who are very ill, or 3 sections averagely. Then the health insurance will take care of those people till they have some other means of treatment like a renal transplant. And I was saying something, but you didn't allow me to finish. So what we are looking, which we have put in our manifesto, there is a policy on tissue and organ donation, storage, and transplantation.
Dr. Nsiansari says after a successful piloting of government absorbing the cost of dialysis, the policy will be extended to private hospitals starting December 1. As he says, all payment for the piloting has been done.
I know, yes, all those who have brought their bills have been paid. That's what the National Health Insurance Authority told me.
Okay, and you are up to date as far as you presented your bill, you have been paid already?
Paid, yes.
Okay, please stay with me. Yeah, please go on, sorry.
Yeah, once they present their bills, they are paid. You know, if you present a bill to health insurance, they have to check it and make sure that everything is correct. And the National Health Insurance Authority CEO told me.
Okay, good. Okay, so you're going to do an assessment of the private health facilities and what they charge. Does that mean that once that is done, you may cover those who go to private health facilities for dialysis treatment?
Yeah, they are all Ghanaians. So we are giving this to Ghanaians who are having chronic renal failure.
But they won't charge your base rate of 491 cedis.
Yeah, then it means maybe it will be a co-payment for anybody who decides to do it. It's also done in a lot of places.
But CDD fellow on health, Kwame Sapon-Siedu, is questioning the timing of the free dialysis rollout.
Again, I go back to the timing. Why have we left it 1 year after all the actual statistics from the time in October when we had the initial conversation hasn't changed? The numbers have been between 34 and 39 per million since I made that declaration and said, based on the National Health Insurance collectibles, they could fund it. And that for me is the question that needs to be answered.
But what the answer isn't the answer in the pilot, because to roll it out fully, you want to first test it with the pilot, and the pilot just ended, and now they can now say, based on the experience on the pilot, we can expand it and cover everybody.
Yeah, and I take that on board, and that's why I said that's what needs to be answered. So in answering it, you need to put the data out for the pilot to say, we're not sure we could fund it. These are the data for the pilot and all. To be able to allay the concerns of people who might have negative skepticism about whether this is feasible or not. But if I look at the numbers from where I sit, it is more than adequate for this to be funded. Because if it's not, then the health insurance and the country is not a country worth dying for.
Now, before we go to the phone lines for some reactions, there is good news. Chief Executive of Engineers and Planners and Jata Cement, Ibrahim Mahama, has paid the full $25,000 needed for a kidney transplant to save the life of 13-year-old Rosemary Bodu. Rafiq Mahama is special aide to Ibrahim Mahama.
As soon as my boss, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, attention was drawn to the video, he quickly instructed we go ahead and make payment for the procedure to start for our daughter. So I quickly contacted the Joint News team to notify them that this is the instructions coming from my boss, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama. Then by 9 a.m. this morning, we've done the payment. We wish her a speedy recovery. We hope that the procedure goes well, everything goes well. And there are so many works that we do, but because this one is more media centered story, that's why it's out there. But we do a lot of philanthropic work out there, both education and other sectors. And Mr. Ibrahim Mahama has that kind heart towards humanity. Then we always reach out to those in need, and we try to help them as soon as possible. Then we wish our daughter a speedy recovery, and we hope that everything goes well.
It's such refreshing to hear that some people in society are there helping people who need. So it's right for us to say, God bless Ibrahim Mahama for this very kind gesture. Deputy Medical Director at the Philanthropic Teaching Hospital has joined us for some reactions on this. Doc, I'm grateful to you for joining. Now, you heard there, the Presidential Advisor on Health talks about payment. We want to first of all find out from you whether your hospital has received full payment from the NHIS.
Hello, good evening. Can I be heard?
Yeah, I can hear you. So I wanted to find out from you whether or not you've been paid in full for the piloting of this free dialysis that government rolled out.
All right. Good evening, and thank you for inviting me, and good evening to all the listeners. We started the pilot on the 1st of in early August, and we've been submitting our claims. The claims have been paid. Because I'm not in finance, I cannot say for sure when the last claim went and when the last payment was made. But I know that we've been submitting our claims, and the health insurance has been making good its responsibilities to reimburse us.
Okay. Now, would you say that, how prepared are you to take in more numbers, especially as government says it is expanding access to dialysis beginning December 1?
Yes, we know that from the pilot, our numbers significantly increased. And in Confanoche, not too long ago, we had 2 dialysis machines. So that tells you that we're really struggling to operate. And then through donations and IGF, we now have 7 machines, which are still not enough. Okay. We over the weekend received 2 machines from the Ghana Airport Company, donations. We are expecting about 6 more machines to come in. But as I speak, we have 4 machines, which are now, we have 7 machines.
Okay.
And these machines are not enough to cater for the anticipated increase in numbers. And it's not working on.
So can we then say you're not prepared for this?
Hello, can I be heard? Sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you. So I wanted to find out from you, based on your response, are you right to say, I mean, you're not prepared for what government intends to do 1st December?
What we do is that we always strategize to try and to accommodate, but we anticipate an increase, a large increase, because you see the 19-year to 59-year bracket. This bracket has most of the patients. Those who are under 18 and below, and 60 and above are less than those in the 19 to 59-year bracket.
Okay.
So we are expecting a significant increase. So as we speak now, it will be a challenge for us when our numbers are going high, because currently we are actually operating under a lot of pressure.
Okay.
And I'll use this opportunity to make a call for machines, because we know recently Kolebu have received 30 dialysis machines. And as we speak, in Konfo-Anokye, we have 7. 7 machines. And look at the catchment area of Konfo-Anokye and look at where we are located.
Okay.
And the fact that we don't have any other tertiary institution. We have some private institutions offering dialysis, but majority of patients will come to Konfo-Anokye for dialysis.
Okay. All right.
So we have a refurbished dialysis unit, but it's empty. We are waiting for machines. They can take 24 machines.
Okay.
So we really are making a plea that we need more machines before we can efficiently accommodate the increase that is going to come from the 1st of December.
Grateful to you, Doc, for joining us here. Dr. Yao Pari Labi is the Deputy Medical Director of Konfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. Well, we'll take a break. We'll be back with more, including take you to the Supreme Court for that verdict on the declaration of 4 seats as vacant, and also reaction from a former judge of the Supreme Court. Do stay with us for all of that after these. Welcome back from the break. Now, Majority Leader Alexander Fielmaking is charging Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin to immediately reconvene Parliament after his case over the declaration of 4 seats as vacant was upheld by the Supreme Court. The court, by a 5-2 majority decision, ruled to overturn the Speaker's decision on the seat, with a full reasoned ruling of the court expected to be published on Wednesday. My colleague Kweku Asante has the rest of the story.
The Supreme Court, by a 5-2 decision, has ruled that on a true and proper interpretation of Article 97(1)(g) and (h) of the Constitution, the Speaker of Parliament did not have the power to declare those 4 seats vacant. The Chief Justice, in a very brief reading of the ruling of the court, said this.
By court, in a majority decision of 5-2, Lovelace Johnson JSC and Amadou Tanko JSC dissenting on the issue of jurisdiction, the plaintiff's action succeeds. The full reasons and orders of the court shall be filed with the registrar by close of day tomorrow, 13th November 2024. This is the judgment of the court.
Following this, Attorney General Godfred Yeboah-Dame says the Constitution is supreme and the Supreme Court has decided, and those who say they disagree must still listen to the Apex Court.
The only thing anybody has to do is to respect the Constitution. That is the mark of a civilized democratic order. It leaves no room for any argument whatsoever, and the majority decision, very big majority, clear majority, 5-2. It's not as if it was a narrow majority, 3-4 or 4-3, that anyone can say, well, there's some room for kind of review anything at all. But the point I'm making is that whenever the court speaks, it's as a clear and emphatic order. Even if it's a very narrow majority, that's the decision of the court, and that decision must be respected.
Alexander Afenyo-Markin, the majority leader who brought this matter in court, says the ball is now in the court of the Speaker of Parliament. He expects the Speaker of Parliament to do what is right by ordering the NDC MPs to sit on the left side and allow they in the NPP to come back and take their right side of the House.
We expect our colleagues on the other side, including Mr. Speaker, to respect the outcome of this case so that we move on as a nation. All we have is the peace of the country. All we have is our democracy. And in West Africa and in Africa as a whole, Ghana shines in the eyes of the people in terms of democracy. So this is another feat we have achieved.
The Speaker of Parliament is supposed to be the custodian, of the Constitution. This man decides that he would not respect the Constitution. Not only that, he would not respect the apex court of the land. It's outlandish. I haven't seen anything like that in my life.
So what do you expect should happen now?
So that is what somebody is saying. What do I have against Babin? My very good friend. Everybody accepts. I mean, he's a class prefect. You all know that. But the point is that I do not agree that a person of his caliber would not respect the ruling of the Supreme Court. Now,
the two judges who dissented, Justice Amadou Tanko and Justice Avril Johnson, dissented on grounds of jurisdiction. Tomorrow, we will get to know on what grounds exactly they made these points, and we are getting some indication that they believe that this matter should have started from the High Court. The 5 members of the panel, led by the Chief Justice, actually agreed and accepted most of the reliefs that were being sought by Alexander Afenyo-Markin. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, Supreme Court, Accra.
The elephant is a winning symbol.
Well, still on this particular development, the former acting Chief Justice of Ghana, Justice William Atuguba, is taking on the Supreme Court for overstepping its bounds to sit on the matter of the declaration of Psalm 4 seat as vacant by the Speaker, Alban Bagbin. According to him, the Constitution has given the power to deal with matters of parliamentary seats to the High Court, and the Supreme Court should have allowed the lower court to sit on this case. In an exclusive interview with Elton Brobe on the Pulse on Joe News, Justice William Atuguba explicitly explained he would have redirected the complainant to file at the High Court and not the Supreme Court.
This Article 125, Clause 5,
right,
is saying that the judiciary shall have power or jurisdiction in all matters, civil and criminal, all. And then you've seen the composition of the judiciary consists of the Supreme Court and all those down to the lower ones. Now, one would have thought that any court at all, which is part of the judiciary, can exercise all the jurisdictions in civil and criminal matters, because the powers are given to the judiciary.
Right.
They are part of the judiciary. But that's where the complexity comes, because as you go further down, you see, as Mosechi J explained in some case in the 80s, that yes, this power is there, it's given to the judiciary, but the power has been shared out to the various branches of the judiciary. So it doesn't mean that once you are a part of the judiciary, you can exercise all those powers, because they've been distributed. So you exercise them according to the allocation distributed to you. You see the complexity there.
Right.
And so when you look at the blanket statement, the judiciary shall have jurisdiction in all civil criminal matters. And the judiciary is stated in terms of the court system. And I look at it and say, oh, any court at all can exercise all those rights. But as I said, the subsequent provisions
are there. The question people are asking is whether Mayor Justice William Atuguba is worried about how politics has permeated every facet of the Ghanaian society, that even the Supreme Court has not been spared.
Anyway, you see, matters this country, we want to pretend, but politics has entered everywhere. I've nothing against that judge, but matter of principle.
Right.
This judge is taken from the High Court straight to the Supreme Court. I don't think he has even done 3 years in the High Court. I'm not aware that any decision of his has been published in any law report. What then so qualifies? And this person was MPP parliamentary candidate for whole constituency in 2020, I think. Yes. Now, there are so many other judges.
In fact, during the trial, the lawyer for the speaker requested that he be allowed to recuse himself.
Yes.
The Chief Justice ruled against that.
Yes.
Because he was there to interpret the law,
in fact,
not to toe the line of any political party.
Oh, but, I mean, you can, therefore, what you are saying, if you go by that, then no question of bias can ever arise in relation to any officer. Is that a realistic thing? These forces come to play. Now, as I've said, why must that person be hoisted like that? What particularly qualifies what? Over and above his seniors in the High Court, in the Court of Appeal. What is there?
10 years of practice and above?
10 years of practice. In what way has he so distinguished himself? You have people who are over 20, 30 something years experience. I mean, let's look at the brass tack facts of a matter and advance ourselves. Because theoretically, anybody can argue anywhere. That's why pretentious positions can be taken and justified in the face of obvious incongruity, dishonesty. There's the trouble.
So the danger here for you is that politically exposed persons add to the perception of bias as it relates to the Supreme Court and the judiciary as a whole.
Definitely. But let me qualify it this way. It's not everybody who has been involved in politics who can be necessarily politically minded.
Right.
I can say, by speaking for myself, somebody like the late Akoto Ampao, of blessed memory, I can say that as far as I'm concerned, even though he was in the president's chambers, he was his lawyer in the election petition 2020, if I had my way and that man was interested in going to the Supreme Court, I would have appointed him. Because if a legal issue he will look at it professionally. Can trust Akoto Ampao to do that. So the incidence of his politics, you can see from empirical evidence, the way but look, even this LGBTQ then he was probably taking a position nobody expected him to take. And some other media rights. He was...
The right to information and the like.
Yes, he was doing them, even though maybe against the government interest. But he was doing them. There's another lawyer. If he currently is a member of parliament, I've never known him, I've never seen him, except on social media. Apia Kubi.
Yes, Apia Kubi, a member of parliament for Asante Achin
Yes,
South.
such a person. If I had my way and he was interested in the Supreme Court, I would put him there.
There's a lot more for us to bring you here on Joy News Prime. We'll take a break here. We'll be back. Please do stay. Let's to the election headquarters now, and it's official. 18 million Ghanaians have been given the green light to vote in this year's election, as the Electoral Commission has released the final breakdown of the voter register. However, the release has already stirred controversy, with revelations that certain polling stations were shut down for failing to meet a minimum voter threshold. The National Democratic Congress questioned the accuracy of these figures. Also, the Commission disqualified the presidential nominee of Ghana Freedom Party after identifying illegal endorsement of their proposed candidate. There is more in the following report.
The NDC on 6th November 2024 rejected the final voter register of the Electoral Commission, insisting it did not come with the breakdown of the voter statistics. The Commission asked for more days to furnish the parties with the data. After 5 days, they have now submitted that data to the parties. It shows 18,774,159 Ghanaians are eligible to participate in the election. In a statement, the Commission reviewed that some polling stations have been closed down. The affected voters in those polling stations were reassigned to other polling stations. But the NDC has some concerns about the Commission's decision. Rashid Tanko Computer is the Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC.
What they gave was just a national summaries. We need to know the regional breakdowns and all that. We will follow it through. We've taken notice of it, especially the issue about the polling stations which do not exist again. This is the first time they are announcing it, and I'm sure you, the media, have taken notice of that. You will see that they've talked of some 884 missing absentees, and due to non-existence of certain polling stations. This is the first time. So if we hadn't asked, all these things wouldn't have been happening.
The Commission also announced the disqualification of the Ghana Freedom Party, ending the presidential hopes of Philip Appiah Kubi, who had been nominated to replace the late Ekua Donko as the party's flag bearer.
Because on the face of his form, it was detected that some candidates, some supporters had been brought from other districts to support him in districts where they were not registered voters. The Commission, therefore, as at yesterday, wrote to the party and to the candidate disqualifying him from contesting the 2024 presidential election.
She also explained that there was no need for a reballot.
We are not here to change positions. We are not here to reballot. We are simply here to inform you that the Commission intends to notify our printing houses to proceed with the presidential ballot as is.
The Ghana Freedom Party welcomed the decision of the Commission. Richard Botwe is the national organizer of the party.
Are you satisfied with the decision by the Electoral Commission?
Yes, that's why I wrote to the Commission that the General Secretary as a whole cannot even present someone to contest.
Okay, so what happens now to GFP?
GFP, we are all mourning our rebuilding and going to rebuild our mother and Ekua Donko's party.
The Commission has assured that the elections will be held free, fair and transparently. For Joy News, Michael Ashali.
Well, time for us to do showbiz and everyone's favorite.
Everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
I'm happy I'm everyone's favorite. And we're grateful that you could join us here on Joy News Prime. This evening, let's talk about reggae and dancehall artist Raskuku, because he has expressed his disappointment about the ungrateful nature of some young musicians. Speaking on Daybreak Hit this morning, he explained that after these young artists get into the limelight, they tend to be unappreciative or do not give him any respect.
And I mean, artists in the like omo ba for me pharmacy. Omo one you to me Freddy omo pharmacy. But when they are big, shh, men can't be. Ufre bullet to go back you. Ebony. Meanwhile, Ashoman estate no frame so the small girl be basisi. In brand messing ko enyo. Besides enyo meni ye nyoma ye mom.
You recorded with Ebony?
Yeah, I have a song with her. Oko YouTube. They on mix one or craft. I saw a car baby now with the tour. Her first song, over for we are not bullet back on TV on the radio. So So me, I say Yapo no pepe. He has done a lot for young musicians. But once he money, yeah, but that day will come.
Oh, but why is it so?
Because it is so.
No, it shouldn't be so. Because no, it shouldn't be so. I've had my fair share. I mean, people talk, hey, Charlie, you do something, you help me, hey, you help this guy, you did. But why is it that of all the things you've done, a name like Raskuku is not mentioned? For example, Ebony. And here you are telling me, because
her first song, and
for somebody like Bullet, and even Ebony, I never heard them mention it.
Ebony, or Pema Sembasa. And that's what Pema or Domiankasa.
Raskuku right there. Let's stay in the music industry and talk about music star Black Sherif. He has, over the period, revealed a previously untapped side of showbiz with his captivating personality both on and off screen. Last month, he threw to watch. We cannot wait to wrap the Mission Impossible all together. Yeah.
And that's it. Thank you so much for being a part of us today. There's more news on myjawline.com.